Okay, so this assignment is going to be for the plan view drawing of the classroom, the computer lab, room 142. So if you look at the instructions, please keep in mind that this is an example. This is not the drawing that you're supposed to create, okay? If you go through the instructions, it's pretty clear, the expectations. For those of you that aren't aware of what a plan view drawing is, it explains it. It's basically a bird's eye view. It's a two-dimensional drawing, although if you do choose to make it three-dimensional, that's okay. You will not lose marks. The assignment does require you to create the furniture, so detail is not going to be that important. As long as we can distinguish what everything is, that's fine. For reference, doorways will be 38 inches wide, and the walls will be 4.5 inches wide. So the room itself is approximately 40 by 23 feet. That's an approximation based on the ceiling tiles that we looked at on the ceiling. You may recall during class. So if you're plus or minus a little bit, that's okay, you're not going to lose marks. So I would start with the 40 by 23. Let's go grab our rectangle. I like to start here, but you can start anywhere you like. So we're going to go 40, apostrophe, comma, 23, apostrophe, enter. Just take a look at the bottom right hand corner. If you do not see the numbers, that means you've got to go to the top right hand corner and click on the middle icon and maximize your screen. So let's click enter. Okay, so there's our classroom, or at least the basic footprint. Now that dimension, 40 by 23, is the interior dimension. So keep in mind we're going to have to add walls. The easiest way to add walls is to go up here and use the offset option. So let's click on, let's just go like so. Click once with the left button, don't hold. Drag it out as far as you like. You can go 4.5 or you can go 4.5. Quotation marks is going to be inches, and then hit enter. Okay. So by making the offset go on the outside, we maintain the measurement of 40 by 23. If we went to the inside, that dimension gets smaller by 4.5 inches on each side, and that would mean an overall reduction in size of 9 inches. Okay, so we've got that. Now, I didn't define how you're going to represent certain things like windows, so if you just want to, it's up to you how you want to do it, but you can go like so if you want. You can say, okay, that's a window. You can use rectangles, there's different ways to do it. Also keep in mind, if one window looks a little bigger than the other, that's not going to be a huge thing. This is just to give a basic representation of the classroom. So there we go, we've got our 3 windows represented. There is a basic guide in terms of how to represent the doorway. Now, it does say 38 inches, but if you want, that's not something you necessarily have to stick to. So we've got a door here, click, and click, and I'm just going to finish that up with a line. I use that arc tool. If you go drop down menu, it's the first one. So we've got the door that we enter in, and we've also got that door that brings us over to the oops, let's see. I guess I have to pick the tool. We need the door that's going to bring us over to the lab next door. Okay, And there is also a door in the back corner for those of you that may or may not know that. So just make sure that you show a door. If by chance the swing direction that you represent isn't correct, you're not going to lose marks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a desk. Well, let's start with my desk in the back, okay? You're not going to have to show chairs. I'm not going to get that finicky with the chairs. So my desk is a bit of a one-off because there's only one. And we can basically show, there's my computer, and there's my keyboard. Now that is sufficient in terms of detail. Now we've got 2 rows of computers on desks. The row on the left has 2 computers per desk, and the row on the right has 4. Now, as far as efficiency, I would suggest creating a component. So let's go over here, and here's going to be our desk. Now let's create your computer. Let's see, there's the screen. Let's make the computer base just a little bigger, like so, that sits on. And then let's create a keyboard for that computer. So that's going to be sufficient as far as being a computer. So let's put a window around that, and let's go right click, let's make that a component. There's component 1. Now unfortunately for that selection, you'd grab the desk as well, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to just copy this over. So what you can do if you grab too much of a component is go over to your component list over here. Now if you don't see this tray, go up to the top, click window, you'll have to see it. You click on show tray and check mark components. If you see it but you don't see the list, click on the house, and that will show you everything related to your drawing. That's a component. Just drag that out. Let's go right click. We're going to edit that component because I don't want the desk yet to be part of that component. So there's our computer. Now in doing that, what happened was we got rid of the desk, which isn't that big a deal. So in hindsight, it may have been beneficial to create the computer out here. So what we'll do is we'll just recreate our desk like so. Then we'll go, we're gonna array that. /3, enter. Perfect. Now what we can do is we can incorporate all of it in one. Make that a component. It's going to be component 2. Now we still have component 1, which we can use on the desks over here. So if you recall correctly, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. The reason I'm calling them out is because with our this COVID-19 quarantine, I actually had to think about how many rows. It's been a while since we've been in the classroom. Okay, so I'm going to array that. I'm going to just click see. Oops. I'm going to hold Control and I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to go /4 enter. So we have our 5 desks. So let's create our other row. Let's put our computer right there. And let's just copy that over. Copying just one time, you're holding Control down and dropping it off. Let's create a window around that. And let's make that into a component. Perfect, that's our component number 3. All components are showing up over there. So let's hold that Control button down. Click once. Let's drop that off right there. And we're going to go /4 enter. And we created 4 copies. So there you go, that's a perfect representation of the classroom. If you were to hand this in with all this included, you would achieve the expectations and get 12 out of 12.